Before we dive in, let's just take a moment to arrive, to land right here in this present moment together.
Go ahead and take one slow, intentional breath with me. In through your nose, really feel your belly expand, and then a long, slow exhale through your mouth, just letting your whole body settle.
If you've ever felt stuck in an old pattern, that flash of anxiety, frustration, or just shutting down, and you've wondered, why can't I just think my way out of this? I want you to let these words really sink in. This isn't a failure of your willpower. It's biology. Your body has simply been trained, conditioned over years and years to run on an automatic emotional program. So let's get into how this actually works. Because if you want to change the script, you first have to understand how it was written. This is the why behind those reactions that feel so immediate and, honestly, so true. We're calling this an emotional script. And here's the gist of it. You have a thought, and that thought produces a chemical feeling in your body. Now, if you have that same thought and that same feeling enough times about your job, your money, your relationships, your body cells literally adapt to that specific chemical cocktail. It becomes your new normal. Your body actually becomes the mind of that emotion. It starts to crave that familiar state, even if that state is stress. And this is exactly why an old familiar anxiety can feel more real and sometimes even safer than a new feeling of peace. So what this means is that in any given moment, you're standing at a crossroads with two paths in front of you. You've got the survival self on the left. That's the home of the automatic script. It's reactive. It's always looking to the past, and it runs on stress hormones like cortisol. Then you have the future self on the right. This is who you are when you consciously step into the present moment. This self is creative, it sees possibility everywhere, and it runs on elevated emotions like gratitude and joy. The space between these two, that's where all your power is. And that brings us to the actual tool. A practical way to consciously create a little bit of space, a micro gap between a trigger and your reaction. This is how you stop that automatic script of the survival self so you can choose the future self right when it matters most. This is the microgap protocol. It's simple, it's memorable, and it is so powerful. It's built on 3 really clear steps. Step 1, name it. You just say to yourself, okay, this is my fear of criticism pattern, or this is my scarcity pattern. The simple act of naming it creates awareness. It separates you from the reaction. You become the observer. Step 2, 2 slow breaths. This is purely physiological. It calms your nervous system right down, hitting the brakes on that fight or flight response and creating literal space in your body and your mind. Step 3, choose 1% different. You don't have to solve the whole problem at once. You just have to make one tiny choice that's different from your automatic script. Just 1%. Okay, theory is one thing, but let's make this really concrete. We're going to walk through 2 scenarios that you've probably experienced so you can see exactly how this protocol works when life is happening. Okay, imagine this email from your boss lands in your inbox. Feel that? That immediate heat in your chest? The tightening in your stomach, your mind just racing to the worst case scenario, that is the survival self script kicking into high gear. It's a chemical reaction that's happening before you've even made a conscious choice.
So instead of letting that script run the show, you intervene. Step 1, you name it, silently to yourself. Okay, this is my fear of criticism pattern. You see it for what it is. Step 2, you close your eyes, you take 2 slow breaths, feeling your feet on the floor. You're interrupting that chemical cascade. And step 3, the 1% different choice. Your old script would be to fire back a defensive email immediately. Your 1% different choice? You simply stand up and stretch for 30 seconds. That's it. You've broken the spell. You've created a micro gap.
Let's try another one. How about that reflexive habit of grabbing your phone to scroll the second you feel a moment of discomfort? Or that familiar wave of dread just before you open your banking app, bracing for bad news. That is the avoidance pattern.
Here's how the protocol works here. The moment you feel that dread, you apply the steps. Step 1, name it. This is my avoidance and scarcity pattern. You're not judging it, you're just noticing. Step 2, 2 slow breaths, bringing yourself right back into this moment out of some future catastrophe. And step 3, your 1% different choice. Instead of immediately closing the app in a panic, you just decide to look at one transaction, just one, with as much neutrality as you can. And that's how you break the habit of avoidance, one tiny, manageable step at a time.
Now, as we close, I want to shift our focus just a little from the mechanics of this tool to the spirit of how you use it.
I want you to let this be your mantra. You are not going to do this perfectly. There will be times you forget. There will be times the old script runs before you even notice. And that's okay. The goal is not a flawless performance. The goal is a compassionate practice. Each time you remember to use this tool, no matter how small the moment, you are rewiring your brain and reconditioning your body. You are training yourself for a new future.
So, I'll leave you with this question. Look at the day ahead of you. Where is one small opportunity, one micro moment, where you can choose to be just 1% different? What is one tiny step you can take today to embody the person you are becoming?
This explainer was inspired by some foundational concepts from the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, and this is our own original interpretation. Thank you so much for your practice today.